Finally, I have achieved my goal. I have officially become the most edgiest character on BioTube.
Hey man, what you up to? Just staring at the fireplace?
Yes, Renzo, God, what else would I be doing?
Well, I hate to say this, but we've reached 500 subscribers.
Huh, it's about time we finally reached that goal. It hasn't been soon enough.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, man, but I don't think people are subscribing to the channel because of you. I think they're subscribing because of me.
I don't buy that for 1 second. My content is far better than your dumb, wacky, nonsensical, frick-filled content.
Oh yeah? That makes a lot of sense. Hey, wasn't your series cancelled, only given a dumb-looking frickin' teaser trailer, and it sucked? And it was stop motion, it was terrible?
You dare! You get your hands off me. I am the far superior character. I am way more serious than you'll ever be.
Yeah, whatever you say, pal.
I hate you!
Huh. Glad we got rid of that guy.
Hello, everybody. This segment is brought to you by Renzo's self-mock, what do I call it? Retrospect? Yeah, retrospective. So we're taking a look at all my old self-mocks. I figured this would be nice to talk about on my 500 subscriber special, since this is practically my milestone. There we go. So we got a lot of mocks to talk about. This is going to be a pretty long part of the video, but this is already a really long video, so hopefully you guys don't mind. I really hope everyone actually watches this video. That's something I'm really hoping. But yeah, we're just going to be looking at all my self-mocks and how these characters have evolved over the years. I'm doing hands gestures right now, but you guys can't see because I'm so into it right now. So first of all, I would like to mention that my very first self-mock, I put that in air quotes because it wasn't really a self-mock. It was just a mock that I really represented on one of my earlier videos. It was called the Graboid Werewolf thing. I made this a long time ago, like 2 to 3 years ago. Probably 4 years ago, actually, if I'm counting. And you can't find the videos anymore because they were on this channel, but I deleted them like ages ago. Basically, the mock was just a horrible thing, and it had a... I'm trying to think of the piece. Oh, crap. He had one of the... what's a good set for reference that uses them? Oh, crap. I'm trying to remember the set. Frick. Anyways, it had this, like, claw piece on it for his face, and basically it was just this gross thing that would walk around and eat everybody. And that was kind of my old... It was just a funny little thing. That was the running joke of that mock. Sorry, I talked way too long about the Graboid Werewolf thing. But that was my first self-mock. And now let's talk about my actual first self-mock, which didn't have a name or anything. It was just this red dude right here, as you can see. And this red dude is actually one of the worst mocks I've ever created. I mean, just look at him. A little bit of Lennox Caruso influence in there, maybe? Seems like it. Just a very bad mock. As you can see, I add the white. This character didn't have any concept. He was just this random lizard dude with these swords, and as the... I don't know why I built the arms like that. It looks like legitimately horrible. Oh my god. But yeah, that was my first self-mock. He did not have a name. It was just this red dude. Then for my second version, I named my channel Renzo Mocks for some reason. I like the name Renzo. I don't know where it came from. I think it came from La Renzo because I heard that being said a lot. So just, hey, I like Renzo. Let's just shorten it to Renzo, and I like the name Renzo Mocks. But then I need to think of what Renzo was. And it would have made way too much sense to make my self-mock name Renzo. So I decided that Renzo was going to be a sort of energy source in my HF story. So it's like a fire that you can harvest from Weaverns or whatever, called Renzo Weaverns, and it's like you can turn it. It's like Protodermis. You can liquefy it. You can make it hard. You can turn it into It was weird. So this character was not named Renzo, but instead it was named Envok, and Envok was just this dude. I don't know why I flipped the swords backwards. That looks terrible. As you can see, he just looks awful. He's one of the worst mocks I've ever built. Well, this is when the Voltraz head came into play, which I used very, very often for my self-mock. Overall, that head design was actually really fun. I remember being really proud of it. I still am decently proud because my mask is loose and would fall off an axle no matter what. So what I had to do was I had to use this weird head technique. And if you want to go watch the original review, it's up on my channel. Just go mock reviews, go all the way down, and you'll find Envok review. So that was Envok, and I came to my senses and realized that that I should just not have Renzo be an energy source, so I figured Renzo should just be the name of my self-mock, and thus he became Renzo. Now, this is actually from a video, my Bionicle Brotherhood video. So if you don't know what Bionicle Brotherhood was my stop-motion series that I was going to work on with my friends. It was going to be this big, epic drama. I had a whole story behind it. Even one of the main villains from that series is one of the main villains in Renzo. I won't tell you who it is. Spoilers. But that's just a little hint. So as you can see, this isn't a really good picture of him, but you can see how the head's built. You can see a little bit of him. Again, sorry for the poorness of the screenshots here. But he started to improve. He actually looked somewhat decent as a G1 mock. His legs are still weird, but I started to feel like he was slowly improving, and that was fun. That's always fun. So he's slowly becoming the modern Renzo. Speaking of which, this was the modern Renzo. This was Renzo for quite a long time. He was in Biorama episode 1. You can see him just chilling. He gets a couple lines. I'd like to mention about this Renzo character. He was an extremely edgelord-based villain character. He was kind of he was the serious, edgy anime character who would go evil sometimes. He was the most cliched dude ever, and that's why I retired him as a self-mock, because he was the worst thing ever. He was so cliche and so bad. But as you can see, he always kind of stuck with those blade pieces. Those blade pieces kind of just always stuck for him. They just really worked. And it's kind of the finalized version of my self-mock, and that's the version I'm the most happiest with. He did get one other update where his hands were black and some minor fixes like that, but this is how he primarily stayed for like a good solid 2 years or something, and I had his backstory and character fully realized, which I'm willing to talk about on the channel one day. Not in this video, because it would make it way too long. And then this was an awkward phase where I was trying to decide between my self-mock and my profile picture, and I built this abomination. I didn't even have this around for that long. I was not happy with this self-mock at all. This is the made for the Toakoto birthday video. Not this year, the last year's birthday video. And you can just see him. He looks so bad. He's got the cape. He's got the friggin' buzzsaw. He's got a giant edgy anime sword. He just looks terrible. So that's when I decided, screw that. I was not happy with him. And thus, I decided once I met that, she wanted to build my self-mock. So I said, hey, alright, let me work on a self-mock, because I didn't want to use that self-mock to represent myself. I knew I was making a new self-mock. So I built Kira. A lot of you guys don't know about this guy. I never covered this guy on my entire channel. Kira was just a dude that was built. Kira had no personality. He was just a robot. He was gonna have like weird mind powers or something. That's all I know about him. And this is the only picture I have of him, and he looks weird. You could argue that I borrowed one technique into Renzo. He has the spinning waist, but that's it. There's nothing. This is the most weirdest character. Say what you want about frickin' old Renzo. He's not Kira. Kira's terrible. Kira's one of my worst creations ever. I scrapped him so quickly. I replaced him with a much better mock too. He's not built anymore though. And then we finally got into Renzo. But what is this? He's red. Kind of looks like the Christmas special Renzo, doesn't it? Yes, this is weird. Again, not too many people would have seen this picture. This is Renzo becoming Renzo, right? So he's got the green upper thighs. He wasn't an alien yet. This was even before my official first review that I ever put out on my channel. He's red. He's got a lot of different things going on. So he was definitely through an experimental phase. He's got a metal arm. Just a weird phase for Renzo. And as you can see, he does have the cape. But as we can see in this next version, which is from my official review on my channel, my first ever review of him, he doesn't have the cape. Now, the cape wasn't going to be a common thing for him. The cape was just going to be something that he would throw off. And I'm so glad I kept the cape, because I hate him without the cape. But as we can see, I wasn't really satisfied with him. He had the old arm blade. and his sword was posed weird. But besides that, he was pretty much identical. He had Borak feet on it. He had Borak eyes on his feet, but that's really it. And that leads us to, there was a minor update after that, but I figured it wasn't important enough to include that because we just have modern Renzo. Now you guys can't see his build behind his torso, but it's changed quite a lot. But overall, he retains the exact same look and design as Renzo. Just what a weird way to go from this Renzo to other Renzo. When you compare the two self-mocks at the beginning, they don't look anything like each other, and that's what I like about Renzo. He's a character that I can see changing so many times, and that's why I love him as a self-mock. He's one of my favorite mocks to date. Even old Renzo, which I did rebuild him a little bit differently, which that will be coming in hopefully another video, if not this one. That's the one I showed off at the beginning of the video. I built old Renzo, which was really fun, but he's a lot different, and that's because Renzo's a character I want to upgrade a lot and change in the future because look how far he's come. He's come from a dark red alien bug thing to this green alien bug thing. So yeah, that was just a retrospective of all my self mocks. Thank you guys so much for listening. Yeah, that's it for
Thank
that.
you guys so much for 500 subscribers. I can't even begin to comprehend how I got this far. And if this video seems a little preachy, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be. I'm simply just trying to say thank you for all the times I've had fun on BioTube, and I look forward to having even more fun. So thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.